Do you know what functional, emotional, and metaphorical ads are, and which one is most sticky and useful for a brand? Hi, Amrit here, co-founder of corevoice, and in this episode of Core Insights, I want to share findings from a paper published in the Journal of Advertising in last year, 2022. This paper explores the memorability of metaphorical ads as compared to functional and emotional ads. So functional ads are factual, right? They make an appeal to the logical and rational side of the consumer to sell a product. Emotional ads, on the other hand, target the feelings of consumers. And before I explain what a metaphorical ad is, let me share some basic understanding about functional and emotional ads. So functional ads are typically remembered more positively, but emotional ads create stronger brand associations, right? There's a lot of research around that. Another interesting aspect as per existing research is that when it comes to selling hedonic products, that is products that are not necessities like a luxury bag, then functional ads do better. But for selling utilitarian products that serve a function rather than luxury or fun, then emotional ads actually give better results. So alright, we know this. Now what is metaphorical ad? As you can probably guess, these are ads where metaphors are used to draw a parallel between two different objects or scenarios, like Red Bull gives you wings or Budweiser, the king of beers. So the authors of this study, they wanted to know how metaphorical ads compare to emotional and functional ads, and for this they conducted two interesting experiments. So the first experiment had two phases. In phase 1, 60 people were shown 60 static ads for real brands as a printout or as a digital image. Now these 60 ads included 20 functional, 20 emotional and 20 metaphorical advertisements in a randomized order. So after each ad, the researchers collected responses on 1, how much the participants liked the ad, 2, how relevant they found it, 3, whether they were familiar with the brand shown, and 4, how likely they were to purchase the product/service. Afterwards, all these participants were given a series of tasks to test how well they remembered the brands. The tests included brand recall tests, identifying brands from the taglines, matching images to ad, and things like that. So what did the researchers find? People remember metaphorical ads more than they do functional ads. But between metaphorical and emotional ads, there is no significant difference when it comes to memorability. In phase 2 of this first experiment, which happened a week after the phase 1, the participants were called back for memory tests. But this time around, fMRI or brain scans were also used to collect brain activity data as the participants watched the ads. So first they were shown a mix of ads, some from earlier, around 36, and some new ones, around 18. After each ad, the researchers asked the participants if the ad was one they had already seen in phase 1. So it's been a week, right? If they got it right, they were further asked if they could tell whether they had seen it earlier as print or as digital, right? That's too much of detail. And then they were asked the brand names associated with those ads. This was followed by an ad recall task test where participants were shown brand names and then they reported how vividly they remembered the corresponding ads. So what was the finding? For emotional ads, people end up remembering peripheral details like a puppy or a crying baby, but don't remember important details such as the brand message itself. Which basically means that emotional ads, although memorable, might not be as effective from a brand's perspective, especially in the long term. Now the researchers had a hypothesis that it was probably the use of metaphors and not people's existing attitude towards the brand that produced memorability, and to test it, they set up a second experiment with 187 participants. The idea was to explore if some brands might be more memorable simply because, well, they were well known and not because of the type of the ad. So in this experiment, each participant was made to see ads from 20 different brands, with each brand appearing in one emotional, one functional and one metaphorical ad. Once again, brand recall tests and brand attitude surveys were carried out. Final finding? Metaphorical ads are relatively more memorable for both peripheral ad details and brand info. Yeah, so that's about it. If you'd like to read the whole research, then just drop a comment and I will DM it to you. Hope this insight was useful, and see you soon with some more insights at corevoice, because that's what we do all the time. It's super important for us to be updated with all the latest research that keeps on happening, and that's why we keep reading them and keep sharing it with you guys. Any feedback on this would be much appreciated. See you soon.